Hi, I just wanted to do an update video. If you watched a few of my early videos on my channel, they were composed of information about finding your niche and some art challenges that I recently went through, and then the shift in my art to a more loose style with bold colors than something so structured. I have actually just moved away from that again. So while I do believe that the bold colors rings true for me, and I'm really happy with kind of finding that as my niche, I have pulled back from the designs I was working on before under my collection, the Safari Club. They will still go up on my website for sale, or I might do a big flash sale of them so they can find a good home. But I loved those pieces and I loved creating them. It just is feeling more like I'm trying really hard to come up with compositions, whereas I want my art to feel natural and easy. Obviously, there will be times where you struggle to find compositions that you want to work on and pieces that you want to create, for sure. Artist block happens just the same as writers. But I really am now back to connecting with pieces that I love to do, and I am working in a more minimalistic way. So while I will still include the bold colors, that will never go away from my art, I'm going back to things that I know I love to paint. And that for me, I think it was maybe shared in one of my past videos. If not, I will share my collection so far, but is fish. I really have always loved painting fish. And I'm really, since the art challenge of doing the fruit, I am really into just food painting in general. And so I'm kind of incorporating both into what I'm taking forward in this newish collection, and this is probably the direction I'll stay with my art. So I'm really happy to share a couple pieces with you. I will show you the first piece that kind of kicked this off. I did do a process video. If you'd like, when I create them, I'm happy to talk about the paints I'm using and the approach that I'm using. I will say it's probably not conventional. I know most of what I know has been taught in courses that I took when I was younger, and then everything I've been doing since is really self-taught. So I don't have all the answers, but I'm happy to share my techniques and my information that I do have with you. This was the first piece. I'm so proud of this one. This one's just called Dinner. Takes me right back to painting my fish, which I have always loved. And then I'm going to be working with more minimalistic designs. So this background will stay perfectly white. This is high quality paper. It's textured. You can see a little bit of it there. Really love how this piece turned out. I will order some prints of it, and I will, rather than get my standard high gloss cardstocky-ish thickness paper, which has held up really well and I'm really happy with, I'm going to do a more matte one where you can actually see the texture. That paper is going to have texture itself, so the prints will come through almost just like this. I've just put in my first order, so I'm super excited to see how those turn out. But that's the first piece that I've done. That one's called Dinner. And then the second piece that I worked on was this crab that I've done. His background will also stay white. A lot of the pieces I make now will probably just keep a white background. I'm really happy with how he turned out. I'm gonna do a couple more. I kind of want to do a lobster as well, and I know there's some really unique lobsters. You can get like a blue one or different colored ones. So I really want to work on that. I love how this guy turned out to start. So I'll probably do another one in the next little while here to launch with the collection, maybe a lobster, and then we'll be ordering prints of his as well. And then I've done a couple that are fishing lures. So these are just fun to practice on. These ones will also stay a white background, so it'll be a plain sheet here. I'm gonna get some frames to as an option to sell with them. So if you know anyone who's really into fishing, this feels like such a niche area, but I really like how the lures came out. I'm wanting to offer some custom pieces, like custom opportunities. So if you really like fishing and you have a set of lures that you really like, please send me a photo in any kind of composition. I do like them lined up like this. I think they turned out really cute. And so happy to do custom pieces with your own fishing lures. I think that could turn out really beautiful. Some of them are really, really incredible. So really happy with those first two pieces. And then I've also done a couple more, which I'm going to be adding to the website shortly. This one is called Caught. So just a fish on a hook there. I really like how this one turned out. The colors and the blending turned out really well, and I'm super happy with that. And then my favorite piece probably of the collection so far is the sardines, which, I mean, not to my own surprise, because I really don't like sardines myself. I'm a vegetarian, but I do really like painting them, all fish really. So this piece turned out really cute. I'm super happy with it. The colors look even better in person, and the fish look great in person, even compared to how they look on this screen. And then the final piece that I'm working on right now is this way. Fish on a cutting board here. So this one still needs some work. It's not done. I'm working on it now. But really happy with how that one's turning out as well. So additional to those will be this one. This is just a rough outline. This will be some vegetables. Kind of going for like a market day theme with these pieces. And then I'm also working on a collection, similar composition, but instead of the white backgrounds, they're probably both going to be blue. And these ones are going to be boat related. So I don't know if you can see the whole sketch there, but just all of these little spaces are each individual boats just on a pier, and I've just started in the bottom corner here. This one will take me quite a bit of time because they're so small. And then additionally, I'm working on these little red sailboats. So the undercoat's been done on both of them, and then this will be a dark teal background. So a little bit of variation from where I was originally starting, but this feels much more natural to me. This piece, or these pieces, and this approach feels right to me. So I will likely be sticking with this theme going forward for a bit, and I hope you'll follow along. I'm happy to share each of these pieces individually and tell you a little bit about the palettes that I'm using, the colors that I'm mixing together. But going back to more realism pieces, it's honestly just where I feel the most comfortable, and I'm really enjoying the minimal backgrounds instead of adding all these details around the piece. So I will continue to work in this method, and I'm happy to share more of my updates and more pieces as they become available on my website. I am just in the process of ordering some prints of these in regular page size, standard 8.5 by 11. If you would like to get different sizes, I can certainly look at that, and I will likely look at some smaller pieces for sure. And then some bigger ones will be coming. I have some larger pieces at home, or larger paper at home, that I'm going to be doing pieces on. I'm just deciding on the composition for those. So all to say that I'm really excited for this direction, and this feels more like my art style and where I'm supposed to be. So I hope you'll take along. If there are any of these pieces that you see here that you would like more information on, to know the palettes that I used, I get a lot of my reference images from Unsplash and Pexels, or P-E-X-E-L. They're two websites where you can upload stock images for free download or paid images, and I often just download some of those free images and use them as references if I don't have fish on hand often. So it's much easier to get the reference from the internet and just use that. So big thanks to the artists on that website who upload things. I've used a lot of different content. I could go on for an entire video thanking each of those artists that I've downloaded pieces from, but you've definitely helped to inspire me, and I am hoping to move into some more commission pieces where you can send me your images and I can work from those. But yeah, very excited to share with you guys. I will continue to keep posting my process videos if you like those, and I can include some direction on exactly how I'm doing each of these pieces if you're interested. For now, I have also closed my Patreon, so my monthly art program is no longer available, but in working on this new collection, I just didn't have the time to dedicate to promoting that as well. And so that's been closed, and I am currently looking at a couple showings coming up, so I will share that information as it comes available. Thanks for being here.